Welcome to the Orange Slice Podcast. Nice. Kenny Frye.
Hey, finally made it.
Justin Creech.
Hello. How are you?
Vulcan Towing in the house.
Yeah.
For our audience members who don't know, this is our second try at this podcast episode. We recorded the first time and got done with it and found out something was wrong with the recording equipment where it didn't record any audio. You could just see us on the video talking away, but I keep telling people that was one of our best podcasts that nobody ever heard.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was, man. We really put some stuff down on that.
Yeah, that was great. But I think with Kenny here, last time Dom was here.
Yes.
And I think with Kenny here, it could be better.
Could be.
It could be better. We'll see.
We'll give it a shot.
We'll see. Yeah. Let's see how it goes with St. Patty's Day and the red beard coming up. I think it just all fits together right now.
Flows together for sure.
So Vulcan Towing, welcome back.
Thank
Justin.
you, Seth.
Yeah. What have you been up to since I guess we last talked? If for those who don't know, Justin owns Vulcan Towing. The company's been around. It was formerly Anchorage Towing Company when your father owned it.
Anchorage Towing and Recovery. That was back in the late 70s, early 80s. So
okay, and then when did you come into the picture?
So I bought the business from my father in 2004, and
20 years ago this year. You guys are 20?
Holy mackerel,
what?
man!
When you do a 20th anniversary? What are we doing to celebrate?
Yeah, we did the 30 year already, because it was 91 and 2001, right?
So that wouldn't make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but now we're 20 years for me owning it. And, we've taken it leaps and bounds.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last time we had that Motley Crue.
Yachtly Crew. There you go.
Yeah, Yacht Rock guys at the party. That was pretty fun.
They tore it up. It was pouring rain. I'll never forget it.
Yeah. It was pouring rain. It was horrible weather, but we had the tent set up. We had the tow truck shaped cake and the food, and your dad showed up, and that was a great time. Great for the community.
The legend himself.
You guys, I mean, obviously the weather's been super bad this year. It's like the record snow. Like, how does that affect you guys as tow truck guys? Obviously, we're doing a lot of getting people out of the ditches and battery stuff, but sort of talk about what kind of things you're seeing and what you guys are doing.
I mean, recovery side of it was off the chart. I mean, we're running late hours, guys. I mean, some of the strangest places you could see cars this year for sure. Up on top of big snow mounds, 100 yards off the road. They just sent them, and they did a good job.
I think I saw pictures of this Jeep. Was it in like a snow mound? Like somebody actually like jumped it into the top of the snow mound?
Yeah, that was in Eklutna.
Okay.
I don't know if they were trying to get off the highway and he just slid past. There's a big snow mound on the top of the overpass, and he slid right through it. It's amazing how he got that far up there. Do we have photos?
Tell me we have photos of this.
Oh, yeah. It's in a call somewhere, I'm sure.
All right, we got to get some photos of this, and we'll add it to the bottom on the podcast so people can see it in the video.
I mean, actually, I just did one with Phil in Dakota that he got up over a guardrail. He's probably 50 feet out and another 50 feet down, and it was actually – Phil's a surgeon, so I mean, it's just watching him work sometimes. I mean,
in terms of tow truck recovery, like how do you recover a car that's 50?
You would think you'd get damage pulling it out,
yeah.
But all the damage was from when that guy went into the ditch and hit up against trees, and the way you just pull him off those trees, it's just amazing to watch him work. I call him the surgeon.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe a guy who's just very technical. He's like the guy in what's that game where you get zapped if you touch it?
Operation.
Yeah. He was like really good at that.
Oh, yeah. And Dakota out there. I mean, it's just a great, solid team that was out there today for sure.
Whose phone is not off? That's me. Damn it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There you go, Seth.
I put it on Do Not Disturb. He probably called me twice. Anyways. So that's fucking cool. What other story? You got any other good stories to share?
It's almost a story every night.
Every night.
It's amazing what happens in this town at night when everybody's asleep.
Yeah, and you can't. Some of the stuff you can't talk about, right? Because there's certain companies and organizations involved and
contracts that
that you guys have. Yeah. So, but there is some interesting things you guys are doing on sort of the safety emergency side. helping support emergency services. Can you talk a little bit about that, Justin?
Yeah, so we're getting into the emergency side of things for the municipality of Anchorage, state of Alaska. Definitely, if we ever get a big earthquake, we want to be able to respond fast. And we have a lot of equipment at our disposal, from excavators to dozers to our rotator and our heavy wreckers that can move giant objects and retrieve people. So yeah, that's one area that we're looking forward to. Matter of fact, we kind of started this winter with our front end loader. We had that thing chained up, and we were all over Hillside, opening people's driveways up that were locked in there. We went up and did this one, for instance, and this married couple, they're old, they're in their late 70s, and their driveway is really steep, and it kind of winds down through these trees, and they were actually stuck in their house for days. They couldn't get out. And we went in there, they called us up and asked them if we would come up there and help them out. And it was probably 9 o'clock at night. It was pitch black.
And the snow was like 3 feet deep.
We couldn't even find the driveway from the main road because the trees were pushed over from all the way to the snow.
Yeah, you couldn't even see the house.
You couldn't even tell it. And so we ended up calling them, and they gave us some pointers, and we got in there and bored a road all the way down to their house. And I was like, oh my Lord, I cannot believe these people live down here and they're trapped. I mean, I was like in shock. And that's really one of the reasons that started this whole thing. I was like, man, there's a need for this service in town. And from that day forward, we stayed on it, and we helped so many people.
Yeah. So this is outside of like people wrecking their cars or getting off the road. This is like helping people get out of emergency situations.
Absolutely.
Or supporting emergency municipality or firefighters to help them.
Correct.
And assist in the recovery and helping people get out of
situations. And I know like the Anchorage Fire Department got pretty creative this year with sledding people out of their driveways and
because God forbid somebody has a heart attack or something, and they have it's on a day it snowed 4 feet, and you got to get in there and you can't.
Yes, and a lot of people don't realize that towing company that we do have all this equipment at our disposal 24 hours a day, unlike a lot of the other people that have equipment similar to ours. Being excavators and stuff, they're not 24 hours a day. So.
Are you guys the largest towing company in Alaska, would you say?
Yes, by far.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I was going to say that, but I wasn't sure. In your introduction, I was going to say the owner of the Alaska's largest towing company, but your operation's huge. How many pieces of equipment do you have right now?
So we're probably up into the 60 range.
Wow.
Total pieces of equipment. We do have 60 employees working for us right now, and we're looking to grow that by at least another 20 this year, hopefully.
Okay. So if you're looking for a job, give you guys a shout, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
We've got a handful of new trucks coming up. 2 of them will be here real soon. We got into the dump truck business now, so now we'll have a fleet of dump trucks as well as our construction equipment. So.
Wow. So you guys are not just tow truck drivers anymore.
No.
This is a lot more. This grew into something bigger. It's more of a contractor support business.
Well, yes. On those big recoveries, we use the front end loader. We use the skid steer winch boxes. And I mean, it all
ties together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Which you if you didn't have those, like, what would you do? Like, how would you operate? You'd have to call a construction company to get them in there.
Rent equipment.
Go rent equipment. Yeah.
And that gets time consuming, and if the equipment isn't available, then you're stuck, right? So those are the areas that we ran into through our business history, is not having to rely on anybody else.
Yep.
Which gives us 1 foot forward.
Yeah. So, and I know you guys are doing heavy haul stuff, which it makes total sense because you have all the big equipment now, so you have flatbeds and semis to carry these things, and you're offering that service to the general public, other contractors, landscaping companies, whoever needs to move a big piece of equipment. You're also helping those guys get their equipment to and from, which is really cool. And then I know from your website, you guys are doing like, you're not just renting trucks, like you can rent a dump truck with the driver.
Yes.
and pay for an hourly rate. So that's something that I don't see anybody doing.
No.
It's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if you need a excavator, we have an excavator and the operator to go along with it, which is pretty neat. So skid steer service.
Sick.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty neat, man. We're trying to just continue to provide a service for the city. It's a needed service, right?
You're changing the game, I think, in terms of what it is to be a towing company. It's like, it's like not just doesn't stop at getting cars, that are parked illegally to move. It's so much more.
Mm-hmm. So it's pretty cool. I enjoy the process of giving people jobs, and the benefit of that for me is watching the guys go out and buy cars and have houses and start families. That's really what it's all about.
That's amazing. Yeah. Cause I've experienced that same kind of feeling when it comes to, it feels like, when your kids grow up and they get older and then all of a sudden they have their lives and buy a house. It feels similar to that. You gave these people opportunity to have a job where they can make enough money to pay their bills and then also get, a car, like you said, or buy a house or have kids. And watching people, flourish like that is super, it's super purposeful and it feels
very rewarding. So,
it feels very rewarding.
It's not always about the money, right?
Yeah, but you got to have the money to make it go. And I think that's where, a lot of people see these businesses and like, oh, those guys are so greedy. Yeah. But like, look at what they're doing. Like they support like however many hundreds of people, counting their employees and the employees' families with benefits and, all kinds of great work environment. I know you guys do a great job of training. So if somebody wants to get their CDL, you're up leveling people all the time, saying like, hey, if you want to do that, we'll support that.
100%. Yeah.
So that's a huge part of, I think, your guys' success is that you guys are focusing on the human aspect of business and not so much on the money. It's about helping lift up people and making their lives better through whatever it is. It doesn't matter what the business is, fill in the blank. But, I think a lot of people see businesses differently and almost see them as like evil for wanting to make money, and I know you guys have it tough because I read your Google reviews, and people obviously are pissed off at you because you fucking, towed their car, in a DUI situation or an uninsured situation. And then it costs money to get your car back. And it's like,
it's easy to throw the anger at us, I guess. Cause we're their last stop at the end of that long process to get their car and whatnot. And, of course, we had it.
They just don't realize that it wasn't us.
It wasn't us.
It was actually them.
It was actually your fault.
I mean, I had nothing to do with it.
You drive without a license. You drive without insurance. Correct. You drive impaired. You're gonna lose your car.
Yeah, 100%.
That's how this world works. That's how we stay civilized.
Yes. Yes.
That's awesome. What's going on in anything going on in the personal life? I know you're going skiing tonight.
Yeah, going skiing, going to go rip the slopes. It's been beautiful down there. So, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I went skiing a few days ago. Kenny and a bunch of
Kenny too.
Amazing.
Oh yeah, a bunch of the Vulcan employees.
What day did you guys go?
Friday last week.
Last Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We took off during the day. Yeah. Everybody took off work and went skiing.
Too
it was
nice
cool.
of a day.
It's so beautiful. I know.
I
all
yard
that hard
sailed
work
it.
pay off.
Did you?
Where
at?
Oh yeah. Right at the parking lot.
In the parking lot.
Right past Kenny. He was
sale.
standing there. I was like, I'm gonna go ski past him and cut an edge and poof right out in the parking lot in front of the Sit Smart.
For the Sit Smart.
I think I laughed all the way
So
home.
funny. But good times. I didn't get hurt, so
That's hilarious. Yeah. So you're getting out doing some recreation skiing.
Yeah. We're fixing to we're gearing up for our Florida trip here. We're gonna be leaving out on the 26th, and
What are you guys doing down there?
we're gonna go drive the motor home from Phoenix over to Florida, and we're gonna spend a couple weeks in Florida and
Cool.
down on the Key West.
God, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
This winter is never going to end. It feels like this is like
Sun's feeling a little better. It's getting
the
there.
light. Yeah, and the sun comes out, but gosh, it just is like threatening to snow every day, and it's been dumping in Girdwood. It dumped like 36 inches in the last 4 or 5 days. So
that's another reason why we're trying to get.
I know
we get busy this time of year because people think in the morning they go up to a trailhead or something and it's nice and crusty.
Oh yeah.
But when they come back from their hike, they're sunk into the snow and stuck.
Yep.
Stuck,
like the backside of Flat Top up there. Oh, I see those people.
Canyon
Road sliding off.
What's your name for that? Is that Money Hill?
Money Hill.
Money Hill. We got a couple of them up there.
Do you charge extra?
We just got one last night, actually.
Is that extra for the extraction?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's like dangerous for you guys.
Unmaintained road, 100%.
Yeah. And this is I think this is a point we should make. Like, this is a dangerous job. I mean, it's just the nature of it. You're on the road all the time. You guys are on the side of the road. And a lot of times it's during the worst times, like storms, ice, snow. Like, how does that work? You guys do a safety
Somebody's got to
training.
go get those cars.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of us screw up here. I mean, we used to go get stuff stuck just for fun of it, see if we can get it out.
Yeah.
You know, it's something we've been doing for a long time. We're from here, you know, we've been doing it a long time. You know, it's somebody's have to go get those cars. I mean, we have chains, we take safety precautions. I mean, put guys through training so they're ready for these situations 100%.
Yeah.
You know, and it is white knuckle all the way for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
butts grabbing that seat for sure a couple times. But yeah, I mean, it's in this time of year it gets real bad because like I said, during the day it's melting off. Night it freezes back
up.
over. Everything that melted on that road is slick.
Yeah. It's dangerous.
100%.
Shit. Yeah.
Pretty cool though.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a fun job. I love it every day. 100%.
How long you been driving truck?
On paper?
Yeah.
8 years now.
yeah.
Of course, Jess and I grew up together,
Yeah.
so I rode in a tow truck before I was even allowed to operate and stuff, and just
Back when I was driving a tow truck to school.
yeah, here coming down the road still.
When you were like 12?
Yeah. No, in high school though.
You did drive a tow truck to high
100%,
school?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, parked in the parking lot at 2:00, get out and go to work.
A Bartlett.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man.
East Siders.
East Siders. Yeah, we're all Bartlett boys.
Go Bartlett.
Bartlett.
Anybody listening to this from outside of Anchorage or Alaska is going to be like, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
But in Anchorage, just to preface it, like when you meet somebody like, and they lived here their whole life, you're like, what high school did you
Yeah,
go
what
to?
school?
Yeah.
Yeah. What year did you graduate? Yeah.
100%.
Small town. Yeah.
So
East side.
something cool that's going to be coming up here on June 22nd is Red Bull is coming back up to Alaska, and we're putting on a UTV race, side-by-side race.
Oh, sick. Is that
Yeah.
on ice?
No, so this is a lot
You
of
said
listeners.
June.
June 22nd. This is going to be on a full-on racetrack. We did one last year. They came up. So my friend Billy Long, he owns, he's got, I think, 80 acres out there in Wasilla, and he's built this whole course. Got a lake, and water slides down into the lake from his house. It's actually pretty amazing.
If Red Bull's involved,
nice. Oh, yeah.
I assume it's like it's not your typical race. It's got to have elements of like water and jumps and
Bring their own racers up.
yeah.
They had
Yeah,
pro
they're
teams come
not
up.
just looking for amateurs. These
No,
are the best guys in the world.
Yes.
That is cool.
We almost had him, Seth. We were so close. So close, man.
It was amazing to watch.
First, my son wrecks our car as he was getting ready to pass first place.
Oh,
position.
really? When was this?
It's last year.
Yeah.
Or year before last. When was it? Was it last year?
No, year before last.
Was it Dakota?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't
yeah.
know that.
No, he totaled our car out. Hit a tree. Yeah.
Where was
Yeah.
this at?
Out there in Wasilla at Billy's house.
Fucking racing? And this was to be in the Red Bull thing?
This was the Red Bull race. Yeah.
Oh, this was the Red Bull race.
Yeah, we had one. Yeah,
Oh,
100%. I got a video here on my phone. I'll show you real quick
Okay.
because I was just out there today
Yeah.
because we're fixing to take all of our construction equipment out there and start working the track to get it ready for this race.
Maybe it was
we
last
have
year.
We have a 70-foot tabletop. We're topping out over 105 miles an hour down
What
the
kind of
straightaways. on
car
this.
we driving?
Side-by-sides.
Side by sides.
Yes.
Oh, side by sides.
Yeah,
I got it.
yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So here's the track right here. This is his house looking down. It's pretty actually incredible. Long straightaways, lots of technical corners,
Wow.
jumps. It's hard to really define the track out
Yeah,
on the
because
video right there.
there's water out there, right?
That's the whole lake that he's built down there in the center.
Whose house is this?
This is Billy Long.
It's a nice house.
Oh yeah,
Nice view.
it's brand new too. He just built it.
We'll
It's
put
a big
this,
hangar home.
We'll link this to I'll have you send this to me. We'll link it in the show notes here
Yeah.
so that people can watch if they want to watch this. This is beautiful. This is Alaska right here, man. This is it. That's why Red Bull
This
wants
is
to
it.
sponsor.
Oh yeah.
This is
So when we had the races last time, they had a helicopter flying around, which was pretty cool, man.
yeah.
I mean,
They had the Red Bull helicopter?
They didn't have the Red Bull. They had
it's
another
too far
one,
to
though.
come for that
I think
thing.
they have skydivers come into the
Oh,
lake.
really?
Yeah, yeah. And then so this year we're gonna have girls in bikinis sliding down the water, slide down into the lake. I know, right?
That was out of there.
Yeah. And he was just telling me we're going to have jet ski races on the lake too, in a little tight course, which is going to be pretty cool.
Do they need somebody out there filming this thing? Because
Yes.
I could offer my services.
One of the reasons. Yeah, we're going to get you involved in this, Seth, and
let's go.
so we can do some promotions. And so
be a
Bailey and
great
I
video.
we're partnering up on this. I'm going to help him out, and we're going to get out here and we're going to get this track all dialed in. I drove it today in one of his side-by-sides. It is going to be fast, exciting, and very scary.
Very scary.
Very scary.
Is the course setup different from last year?
Yeah, there's some different stuff. And we're going to be doing some different stuff. We're going to be moving some banking and creating some better transitions down off the banking into the straightaway.
Going to the corner harder and faster.
Do they have video from last year's race that you could share with us?
Yeah, I could probably get some.
Yeah, you don't have to look at it now, but yeah,
I'll just text him real quick.
Yeah, that'd be
pretty
cool.
cool.
Did you have video of him crashing?
I don't know if we have video of Dakota crashing, but he crashed pretty good. So my brother and Aaron both crashed. I couldn't race because I had just had shoulder surgery.
Yeah, I was going to say we got to preface this with you've been in racing for a long time.
Yes.
Like for our listeners' sake.
Yes.
Like this is part of your guys' like family. Like
This is
lineage.
our legacy.
Yeah,
yes,
your legacy.
100%.
Yeah.
have some video on that.
Yeah, if you guys have video of that, send it to me and we'll add it to the show notes here so people can link. We'll put it up on your YouTube page, or if it's not on YouTube already, we'll add it to a YouTube page so people can watch it.
Yeah, no, it's going to be pretty cool. Hopefully we get some professional racers to come up here. So during this last Red Bull race, to go back to it, so Dakota, my son, was getting ready he was moving over a lane to pass, I think her name was Mia.
Yeah, it was Mia.
And she's a professional Red Bull racer that they flew her up here.
Oh, I've
in her
seen
car.
videos about her. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's popular. She's like popular because she's a female.
Yeah,
racer.
she's
oh,
a great
yeah, and
racer.
she's
Yeah,
good.
absolutely.
And she's good.
Yeah.
She's smooth. So Dakota gets next to her and goes to pass her. Well, there was a car that had a flat tire in the right lane.
Oh,
so
shit.
he
had to fucking swerve real quick.
ran into that, and it bounced him up into a tree, and it ripped the whole suspension off the right rear of
he
our
was
car.
done.
End over end.
Yeah.
5-6 times.
Yeah.
Was he
Roll
okay?
cage all bent.
He was
He's
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a single-seater RS1 that I built for Jessica, my wife. And it was our spare car that we brought out there in case our other two cars broke, which they did.
So you put him in that?
So my brother gets into this one and goes out there, and he's getting ready to pass her in the last lap on the last corner. And he goes into the corner too hot and flips the car over on its roof.
It was like a slow motion
It
roll.
was
Oh, he just did he?
yeah. And then so we're all out of the race, and all three Red Bull racers are up on the podium.
Oh my gosh!
It was that close.
That
It was
close.
that close, man.
How many racers were involved?
Oh man, there had to been
There was 3 different classes, I think.
Okay,
probably at least 20-something cars.
that's cool.
It was a pretty big
So it was
event.
competitive.
This year will be bigger because
Yeah.
we're really going to pump it up this year.
Yeah, I remember you talking about last year, but I haven't seen any like advertising for
No.
it or anything. That's something we should definitely look into. I know Red Bull has a lot of money to advertise these
Yeah.
things, so yeah, maybe we can get them involved somehow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, they're gonna be involved. That's for sure. So yeah, that's gonna be
It
our
was
first
fun, for sure.
first project in our construction business this year to kick off the season.
To build that racetrack, or to
It's
dial
already
it
there.
in?
We're just gonna fine tune everything and get everything really laid out. Perfect.
Cool. Add that to your services you
That's
offer.
right, Bubba.
Racetrack building.
Racetrack building.
You've probably
We're
been
there.
doing that since you were freaking 8.
Oh yeah, we had them built in my backyard at my house.
Yeah, I bet.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mini bike racing with Kenny
Barbecues.
over here.
Shit.
Pretty
6
fun.
wide in the corners.
Neighbors hated us.
What else is coming up? Anything else you guys got in the works, work or otherwise?
Nope, we're just always fine tuning, you know.
Yeah.
We do have an ERT team now that we're basically like
Emergency response
emergency
team.
response
Yeah.
team that we have dedicated, that we keep these guys informed, and if they ever hear anything that's coming down the pipe, they let us know. And
Like what kind of things do they respond to?
bad
to?
wrecks? I mean,
Okay.
a lot of cleanups.
Yeah.
and,
You guys, because you guys got the sweeper, you got the
Yes.
wreckers, and then these bad wrecks where it's a head-on collision.
great
or something.
team. I mean, we make crash scenes like they weren't even there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of cleanup when those happen. So it's good to have a good team to respond to these and get it cleaned up, and and get the roads open as fast as we can.
Yeah,
sure.
In addition to that, I know you guys do like battery. Like this is actually I know because this is a service I've used. The mobile battery replacement. Like what a genius idea. like my car's in my driveway, it won't start. I'm like, well, instead of trying to like do this all myself, I'm just gonna call Vulcan and like within like I think it was like a couple hours, maybe maybe a little more than that. I don't even remember, but like I didn't have to do anything. Like didn't have to figure out how to get the battery out of there. Didn't have to figure out which battery I needed. I just called Vulcan and like I had a new battery and my car started and I was like, fuck, that was worth it. And it was it was about the same price as just going to buy the battery myself when I priced it out. It wasn't that much more. So the service was well worth it.
You know what the added part of that is? If you have a problem with it under its warranty period, we come right to you wherever you're at and fix your battery for you.
For free.
For free.
As a part of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 2-year free service, man. Anything happens to that battery within that 2 years.
Love it.
Then I think there's it's prorated after that for 2
up
years.
to 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And then like obviously you guys do like fuel
Deliveries,
tire changes.
Somebody just needs a little air. We'll come put some air in their tire.
So it's like these things are like that's a big deal, especially for like old ladies or
100%.
People who don't know what to do and you know like fuck AAA, right? I mean like let's get those guys out of here and like let's have you guys do this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. That's kind of funny you say that because they're knocking at the door again.
Are they?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, because I know they stopped using your guys' services.
Yeah.
For this kind of stuff. So yeah, they're back.
Well, they're not back, but they're knocking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we like them again.
Then. Maybe. We don't know yet. Yeah.
Well, the CEO got fired, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that guy was a dick.
Yeah. He was a dick. That's for sure. Not good businessman for sure.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, you do that good of a job for that many
years.
30 years.
Yeah. They're going to fill it when we leave.
Years
for sure.
Yeah. Nice work, CEO. You went away from the company that could actually deliver on the stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't want to talk shit about other tow truck companies, but you know, most of them seem to be owner operator situations for the most part. There may be a few exceptions, and people just, you know, those guys are, good luck getting like a good response, a good price, or like any kind of like real service from these owner operator situations because they're trying to do it all themselves. And like you said, you have 60 employees. This is like you have people dedicated to this category. So
yes.
That's something other companies just can't do.
No.
So that's great. And that's a great service. Like I said, it just helps people, right? And that's really what you're in the business of, is helping other human beings. And I think that speaks to that. So
100% for sure.
Where did the name come from, Vulcan?
So the name of the manufacturer of our towing equipment, where it originated from, and it was Vulcan Equipment that built all the tow trucks back in the day.
Oh, okay.
They still have some stuff going now, but not very much. So my dad had taken the name and thought Vulcan Towing, and worked really well together, and off and running we went.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it works good.
It's not the...
I always give everybody that.
I know. Is the gang sign?
Yeah.
The Vulcan gang sign.
I wasn't a big Star Trek fan, so yeah.
Me neither. Star Wars all the way.
Yo, but have you seen that new Dune movie?
I have not.
I'm supposed to go see it with the son this Saturday, so we'll see.
I had no idea about this movie, and I was kind of like, fuck this. I don't like Star Wars.
Did you watch the first one?
I had to watch the first one. That's what I'm saying. Like, I saw it on Hulu, so I'm like, it was just at home, just kind of had nothing to do, and my daughter was like, yeah, let's watch Dune, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, it's probably just like stupid Star Wars, which I'm not a huge fan of, and I got to watching it, and I'm like, this is pretty badass. It's like kind of Game of Thronesy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a little game. It's more like Game of Thrones than Star Wars to me.
I haven't
like
seen
the dynamics of
any
it.
of them.
This is new to me too. So I watched the first one. I was like, whoa, that was good.
Yeah.
And it leaves you on such a cliffhanger. Like, I have to see the second one.
Yeah, I'm excited to go see it Saturday.
And it delivered, man. It's a 3-hour movie. I literally looked at my watch at like, it was a 7 p.m. showing or 7:30. And I looked at my watch at like 7:50. I'm like, man, this is going to be 3 hours. And then I looked back up and it was like the movie was over. Yeah. It was like that action packed. Wow. It was really
like
good.
A good movie like that.
Yeah, it was like that. It was like, holy shit. And it was a ride. And you could see again, like, okay, I got to go see the third one now.
What theater did you go to?
Century, but if you can, go see it in IMAX. It was filmed in IMAX, and I've seen like the differences between IMAX and the regular, and like you're missing like
Night and day.
You're missing a portion of the screen because they filmed it for IMAX. So I think Takatnu has IMAX.
Is that the one that kind of wraps around you?
Yeah, the screen's just like it's like
Huge,
above you and around you, and I mean,
I don't know
entertainment.
if I've been in that one before.
I think did Takatnu go out of business?
No, no, they still got it.
Didn't they talk about shutting that down?
Yep, they're going to shut down that one and the one in the valley, I believe.
Oh.
Just took our daughters there the other night, dropped them off, and the parking lot was packed.
Yeah.
At Takatnu?
Yeah.
I think it's a bigger play for like they're having trouble. Well, I mean, COVID, right, killed that industry for a minute. But this is supposed to be like Dune is like one of these movies that, like, when I looked around after the movie, it was like all these young kids, which aren't the typical moviegoers. Usually it's like our age. We grew up going to the movies and we love it, but that's a good sign, I think.
Yeah, they want to get back out and
socialize.
Stuck at home all the time.
Yeah. So anyways,
I don't even know. What is there for kids to do nowadays besides go to get air?
Well, they're banning TikTok. So they're banning TikTok. That was like the vote, the federal government.
Talking about it.
No,
right?
this morning, I just read it on the Morning Brew.
So they're going to suppress.
Well, they're afraid China's taking the information and using it against people. So they're basically forcing their hand to either sell it to an American company, which I thought that was pretty gangster. It's like, hey, if you guys want to operate in America, it's got to be owned by an American. Sorry.
Sorry. Sell.
But yeah, what do kids do these days? Like, get air? I mean, not when you're
That's what it is. I think it's just get air. We've been taking our kids to this hilltop ski area and dropping them off all day. They wanted that. We dropped them off at 9 o'clock the other morning.
How old are your kids?
So
your young ones.
Daughters are 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have two 13-year-olds.
Yes.
Okay. I have a 16-year-old, and like besides just hanging out with her friends, and
that's it, man.
Yeah, I try to get her to go skiing, but it's kind of hard sometimes if she doesn't have like friends that want to go as well. It's like, well, I don't want to do that, you know.
Boring by yourself, for sure.
Or with me.
They were like, yeah, well, can you drop us off at the ski at Hilltop?
Like,
we're like, yeah, sure. What time? 9 a.m. I'm like, what? They're open at 9 a.m.? Yeah, that's what time they open. They spent all day and all night up there.
Well, at least they were outside. Absolutely.
That's great.
Yeah, and then they came back and slept for 2 days.
Yeah, that's kind of shit I did when I was a kid.
100%. Man. Yeah.
But the kids these days aren't doing that stuff, man. No. And they're, to be honest with you, they're not doing the shit we used to do when we were kids, which was just like, let's find beer and get drunk. Like, that's what we used to do.
100%. We went up to Arctic Valley the other day, and that sled where you could take a car up to the top and sled back down.
Oh, yeah, 6 mile.
It's
6
not
mile
done.
trail.
It's not. They don't do it anymore, and it's just like...
That's the only way I would get down. I would say, Mom, pick me up at the bottom.
Pick me up at the bottom.
Everybody's parents knew just to pick us up at the bottom. At the end of the day, after we skied all day, we'd ski down that thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Every time.
Nothing.
What?
Yeah, we used to go sledding up there all the
Such
time.
an
Get
adventure.
the orange toboggan sled.
Yeah.
Ruin your back.
Fucking hurt each other. Yeah. Just almost die.
Spend an hour trying to get down that thing.
Yeah.
Beat you up.
But now they don't even do it anymore.
No, that's where I grew up skiing at Arctic Valley.
Yeah.
Alpenglow.
Alpenglow.
Yeah, I grew up skiing. That's where I learned how to ski. And then when I went to Alyeska, it was like, well, this is about as steep as Alyeska. I mean, if you go to Arctic Valley, it's fucking no trees, but you know, it's straight down.
Yeah.
But yeah, then if you learn to do the T thing too, the
T-bar.
T-bar, yeah, that's like you can ski anything. I think at that point.
We went tubing the other night there. It was pretty fun, actually.
Oh yeah, tubing. Yeah, that's a fun thing to do.
That's when you acted as me, took my family, right?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't.
I step in for him
Dad.
when he has to be out and about. Yeah.
Thanks.
Take him camping, you know.
Do that for my brother-in-law sometimes too. Make him look bad.
That's what bros do, right? That's what bros do.
That's what bros do. That's what bros do. And then you throw it in their face and make sure their wife knows so they get hate and don't get laid for a while.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Well, the best is when he took his wife to the fair with us, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm hanging out with my other family."
Where was I at?
You were in Arizona.
Did you get the
Looking
button
for your motorhome?
Tell me you got the button too with her.
We do 100%.
That's the funniest part. Is I go to his house and it's hanging on the fridge.
It's him with your family.
I don't even.
Did she get one for your refrigerator? Too?
No, I threw it in the garbage.
Garbage. How many kids do you have, Kenny?
4.
4 kids.
Oldest one's 31, and the youngest just turned 21.
You have a 31-year-old? How old are you?
49. I'll be 49 in June, so
Man,
I'm in there.
You look young.
I started early. My first one was born when I was 17.
Okay, yeah.
And then actually both of our oldest are right around the same age.
That's awesome.
Like a year apart.
Yeah. I had kids young too.
Yeah.
20 years old, 20, 21. Yeah.
It's rough, man.
Third grandchild's on the way.
Jeez, grandpa.
Yeah, I know,
I got
right?
two. I got two grandchildren.
So you guys are both grandpas.
Yeah.
I have a 22-year-old.
And almost 50. Check that out, huh? Holy crap.
Yeah. Full on middle age.
Yes.
I have a 22-year-old and a 20-year-old, and I'm not looking forward to being called grandpa. I just do not. Do you get called?
It's amazing.
Is there
It's
something
the
else?
greatest
I
thing
know. I know.
ever.
The whole part about
Yeah.
like if a little kid, my daughters like make fun of it, like, grandpa,
Yeah,
you're gonna
it's
be a grandpa, and they have dogs too, so they're like, Grandpa Seth's gonna take care of you to their dog, and I'm like, there's got to be a better word.
Gotta be.
I think
so
the Papa.
old.
They call me Papa.
Papa.
Yeah,
I like
Papa,
that.
Papa, yeah. I think
My wife calls me Papa.
I think
too.
the best part was
Get over here,
telling my
big Papa.
dad that he was going to be a great grandfather and look in his eyes like, what?
Yeah, that's crazy. Because I didn't even know my grandfather. Like he had passed away when I was like 3, and all my
Yeah.
grandparents except for like my mom's mom was like alive until I was probably like 20 something. But she was incapacitated
Yeah,
for most of it.
old.
Yeah, so like this is weird for people to have.
We're going to be hanging out.
And you could even have great grandkids potentially. How old's your dad?
My dad is.
This is putting you on the spot here.
78.
78.
You
yeah.
know?
I know. He's my dad, too.
Yeah.
Kenny and I grew up together.
78.
So he's got another. He could have another. Yeah, he could be a great.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
could
great,
be.
great. Yeah.
A double great.
Well, because my grandson, my oldest grandson's 9 now. He's about 8 now. So
10 years if he's on your
I
track.
guess, yeah, true that.
8 years.
Yeah.
8 years. If he's on your track,
I hope so. I hope so.
that'd be cool. And then you would be a great. Oh my god.
Oh, my God. Yeah. How old are you, Seth?
44
44. Oh, you're right
this
behind
year,
us, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I turned 44.
You're
this
getting
year.
old, too.
Yeah,
You can tell. Just kidding.
No,
So,
I feel
so I
good.
do have a question for
Yeah,
you, though.
yeah.
Because we have these daughters that are 13 years old, and they're a pain in my ass.
Yeah,
really.
I got 3.
The attitudes
Yeah.
are just unbelievable. So we're trying to figure out how to navigate this attitude deal right now. And we just are kind of at a loss. The other night, stomping around the house. I'm bored. I don't have nothing to do. We've taken her phone away, of course, because the old TikTok and Instagram and Snappy Wappy or whatever
Yep.
it is,
Yep.
It's just, it's turned them into these monsters. And
Seemingly, yeah.
yeah, just crazy, right? So I had a talk with him, and I'm like, hey, look, I think we're pretty cool parents. Why don't you try embracing this and giving us a chance to interact? Let's get some board games. Let's get some cards. What do you want to do? Let's do something.
Yeah.
And it just
How'd she respond to that?
nothing.
She didn't,
No.
more of the same, more
Just
attitude.
more of the same, just attitude and everything else.
So Charlie's been hitting me up for advice on daughters because he has one, and I think she is, how old is she?
yeah, I talked to him about that too, and he's going through the same thing.
He's going to the same thing,
Yes.
and I went through this with one of my daughters in particular. She really broke us in. Our middle daughter was like challenged us on every front every time she got the chance. We're going camping. She's like, no, I'm not going camping.
Correct.
We're going in a motorhome. We got everything's packed. We're walking out the door. She's like, no, I'm not going. It's like, what do you do? You know? And so, yeah, we had a lot of times where we were forcing her to do things and yelling and big blowouts. And, what I learned from it is, number one, it doesn't help to argue with them. If you start to engage with them on their level, you're going to lose every fucking time because you're going to lose your temper, and you're going to do something or say something you regret.
Right.
And it's going to hurt you more than anything. And then they're going to remember that forever too. Cause they're going to be like, remember that time you called me a dumb bitch? And you're like, yeah, cause I wanted to kill you, or whatever it is that you say or do. It's like, so the best advice I can give, and what I told Charlie, is like, if you can meet them with unconditional love in a way that really just sort of tells them, like, even when they're having these really obviously outwardly, like almost like there's like a storm going on inside them. You could tell, like, they don't like anything. They hate everybody, I would just say, like, give them a hug, tell them how much you love them, how you're there to protect them. And that's your job. And just continue to beat that drum, and don't ever engage.
Yeah.
Because my wife is the engager, right? And a lot of times it is the mom who somehow has this like connection to the daughter that's like, we're going to fucking hit butt heads, you know, especially at that age. And then it becomes what I saw at my house. And you probably see this too, is like, I stay out of it. I'm really good at staying out of it. Like, I'm like, you know, she's just having a thing. It's like it's her thing. It's all in her head. Like, we can't be pulled into it, but my wife will get pulled into it. And then all of a sudden, like, she'll do something to my wife where I have to step in. And then it becomes sort of like, okay, now I gotta do something to defend my wife's honor and her from getting like fucking, you know, to get reamed. Yeah. And my wife's choked my daughter. My wife choked, like, literally, like, and she's not a violent person. You know, my wife.
Oh yeah.
You know, like she
enough is enough though.
Yeah. Like, right? Shut the fuck up, you know? And my middle daughter, like I said, pushed us to the point where she wanted us to do something so that she had a reason to, you know, be mad or to be upset or to be the victim, you know? And all I can say is, and it's easier said than done, which is basically like, be the eye of the storm, be the one that's sort of like, you know, as understanding as you can, and empathetic listening is something I read in a book once. And it's like, basically like, how can I hear what you're saying and get myself to think about how you feel and what's going on in your head? And for a 13-year-old girl, can you imagine being in that head, in that body?
No, I couldn't.
Like, all you can do is listen and try to figure out, like, what is actually going on? Because all you can do is guess, because what's really going on, they're never going to say it. And I strongly, strongly, strongly recommend people get their daughter, anybody should see a therapist. Yes, and counseling, because you need somebody from outside that can say, like, is that reasonable? Do you think that's reasonable to expect this thing from your parents? And do you think that behavior is something that your parents should deal with? You know, somebody who can really take it and be like, hey, what do you give them a situation where they're able to see from a different perspective what they're doing and how they're affecting other people around them. That's the best you can do. The good news is they grow out of it.
Yeah.
That's the 17, 18, 19.
Oh, man, that's a long road.
Yeah, it depends. It depends. My daughter,
your best friend again.
My middle daughter, when she went to college, she got into some shit into college, but that was on her own shit, you know, doing dumb stuff and fake IDs or whatever, you know, still trying to push the limit, always pushing the limit.
Oh yeah.
Always pushing, finding that line and crossing it. And she finally came home, and she's been home for like 8 months now. 10 months. I think she came home around this time last year, maybe January. And she's been great. She's working. She's going to school. She's sweet and nice. You know, she smokes a little too much pot probably, but let's be honest, you know, like, that's what kids do. I mean, you know, she's not drinking a bunch, which I think
that's a plus, right?
That's
there.
a plus.
100%.
Yeah.
So, I remember what we were doing at that age for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know,
I
think we have to be reasonable, and I don't understand where women come from a lot of times, and especially a 13-year-old girl. I can't, you know, relate to that. So my best, I guess my best weapon is unconditional love. And that's something that didn't come until they were older. Like, I had issues, and I had to fight, and I had to, you know, do things that I regret and that they still talk about. And I had to apologize later profusely, and still do apologize for things I said and did, you know, in the past. And I think as fathers, we all do that, make mistakes, and as parents we do. And I think, you know, all you can do is just try to meet your kids with unconditional love and give them the help they need.
It's a trip, Seth, man. I find myself sometimes I'm sitting on the couch, and I've got my daughter crying over there, and I got my wife crying downstairs.
They're all crying.
What the hell have I? What is going on here, man? I'm in a totally different world.
You're in a storm, man.
So I'm trying to figure out, you know, what's going on here, you know, and it's just, it is a balancing act for sure, you know.
And I just
challenging,
you know, and we're kind of cut from the same cloth, you know, like when we're in challenging situations, we know that this is where we're supposed to be. When it's not comfortable, I know that that's where growth happens as a person, and that's where, even though I don't like it, I need to be there. You know, I need to be a witness to it. I need to learn from it. And for whatever reason, that's the situation I was put in. And I kind of have an outsider's perspective in terms of like what I'm getting out of this, in difficult situations. And I'm a goaltender, in hockey. I'm a glutton for punishment.
Right.
Like I for some reason I like to get myself into situations. I do ice baths and do the cold plunge shit, and I go to hot yoga where you almost pass out. And I do this shit because I know that's where you have to, those situations you have to put yourself in order to find growth as a human. And if you're not growing, you're dying.
Correct.
And
just like business.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that's just, I think, an innate instinct for me. And I think for most entrepreneurs it is. And that's just, I guess, how I view, life in general is just like, what can I do that's difficult that will help me get to that next level?
Yeah, not so much me, man. I'm trying to find the easy way out, brother.
Well, you're getting into the 50s. I feel like when I'm 50, I'll probably be.
I'm not 50 yet, brother, but
he's close enough.
I think you're on that. You're on that. You're coming down. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, well, how can I make things easier?
My whole life has been difficult so far.
Want to relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Been a lot
relax.
of work, man.
Yeah, you put in a shit ton of work,
Shit
and
ton.
I think in our 40s, this is where I peak. Like I've never worked harder, although I've never felt more accomplished and in control, and like I actually have control of my destiny, which makes me want to work harder because I know what I need to do to get to that next level.
Yep.
But then I'm like, do I want to take that much more on? Like I bought the Valpak franchise, which I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, very nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, I bought the Valpak franchise back in November. I started the podcast, and this is another thing. And then
more work.
And now I'm selling podcasts. So if you want to do a podcast and you are a business person or somebody who is an individual, I'll produce your podcast for you with the video. And so this is like one thing after another, it's just like, you're still doing it though. You're still adding services.
Man. Yeah, I know.
No, let's do this. Let's bring this on. It's like, well, that's more work and more equipment and more responsibility and more.
Just comes naturally.
I think what separates what gives me the ability to do that now though is I got an awesome team behind me, man. That is handling everything. So I don't have to be involved every single minute.
Yep.
Like it used to be.
Yep. I noticed that you're getting out, taking vacations, you're leaving, you're taking a few vacations every few months. And
Yeah, I think that's important too.
Got to stay you keep your sanity,
Fuck yeah, you got to
get out of here for a minute.
Yeah, there's so much out there in the world to see too, man. If you're not doing it and you're not seeing the world, you're missing out. I mean, there's so much.
There's so much. I know. I'm jealous of you and Charlie with you guys' motorhomes down south. I actually saw this. There was a Mercedes on Facebook Marketplace. My buddy's selling. Micah Freeman, and he keeps dropping the price on it, and it's a sad story because his dad, his grandfather, bought it brand new with all the bells and whistles, like $190K, I think he spent on it, and passed away like a few months after he purchased it. He only had like 5,000 miles on it, and this guy was super successful, like millionaire, just worked his ass off till the day he died, basically. And I keep thinking about buying that from him.
Gotta enjoy it a little bit.
Yeah, right. And I think that we get in such a mode of just grind, hustle, that it's
And motorhome and what we found now, it's not an old person's deal anymore. Mm-hmm. You need to get out and do this when you're young, because there's a process to it, and you can really enjoy yourself more at a younger age doing it than I think you can at an older age of doing it.
Yep.
I don't know if I'd want to be traveling in a motorhome at 70 years old.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I see those people and I'm like, it's basically a house on wheels too. It's like, you got to find a place to park it. You got to worry about weather. You got to put it all together.
Maintenance.
Yeah. The maintaining of it, the pop outs and all the shit you got to do. I'm like, yeah, I'd just rather not.
Yeah. The sense of freedom you have though. It's just unreal.
I want that.
Have you read the book Greenlight?
Oh fuck, I love that guy. I recommend that to everybody. You have to listen to it though.
That's because what started it all. Because I read the book and then listened to it.
Because he traveled and he did that all by himself though. Yes. He just lived in RV parks in this fucking Airstream, right?
Airstream,
yeah. If anybody hasn't read that book or watched, I would recommend listening to it on Audible. It's Matthew McConaughey. He's the narrator of it, but he's got such unbelievable stories that are just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He's
the way he tells them too.
We even bought bongos, man, for the
Did you?
Oh yeah. We got bongos in the motorhome, baby. So
playing bongos,
maybe, brother.
Maybe
I'm doing it.
Maybe take some mushrooms.
We'll see what happens.
Microdose.
Maybe a couple.
It seems to be the thing nowadays, though, right?
I've seen it. Yeah, you basically grind up some mushrooms and you put them in little
Is that
capsules. It is in certain states. I know Denver or Colorado legalized it, and in Canada, it's definitely psilocybin is legal. Apparently, they sell some gummies at the. Have you heard about this at the gas station?
At the gas station
that are a psychedelic mushroom, but not psilocybin.
Huh.
So I had a buddy who tried them out, and he said, "Yeah, he got fucked up."
They worked, huh?
Yeah, but
Holy
it has
shit.
like little like chart on the back of it that's like take this many, and it's like a happy face, like go to work, and then it's like take this many, and then like you'll feel like you got to sit down on the couch, and there's like this melts your face off.
This melts
and
you got melty face.
I guess he like took the whole pack.
Oh my god.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, like thinking it's from a gas station.
And
I
he
don't
had
know if
melty face.
And he
huh?
had
The melty face.
He said for I think day and a half or 2 days, like he
Holy
was
cow.
not able to go to
That's
work.
pretty powerful.
He took too much, man. Just
Yeah.
don't take too much.
Better not have nothing to do the next day.
That's exciting.
Better be in that motorhome somewhere.
Right?
That's
Well,
amazing how all this stuff is just kind of becoming legal and you can just get fucked up.
Well, they're
now,
doing it
right?
in therapeutic settings now.
Oh yeah, just take a whole bag of it. That's therapeutic.
Well, my wife's been reading a lot of that. She's a therapist and she's microdosing mushrooms.
Yeah.
And she's been reading a lot about it and all for it.
Yeah, so PTSD and trauma and addiction and things like that. It helps you access parts of your brain that you don't normally access that you can get into, rewire, and then I
So
have
this is the
experiences.
same
This is-
stuff that the pilot was on that tried to shut the plane off.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Apparently,
All right, cool.
Higher dose. Higher
Hired.
dose.
the chocolates. Yeah. Yes.
So
Way
funny,
higher
so
dose.
funny.
I know. I don't want to keep you too much longer, Justin, but
Got a slope calling my name.
I know you got to go skiing. I'm gonna be out there tomorrow too, so maybe I'll see you out there. I got.
Oh, you're going tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Nice.
tomorrow morning. I got a hockey tonight, and then I'm gonna head out there in the morning, and then I got a meeting at like 2 out there.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be nice the next few days anyway.
Yeah, I guess it was
It
Bluebird.
was nice
today.
when we
I
were
was-
out there yesterday.
I'm
Last night.
flying out at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Oh, that's right.
So
Okay,
flying into Rainy Pass.
Rainy Pass.
Yeah.
Coming back on Monday. I know.
liked
I'm
him.
so
Sunday.
jealous.
Sunday. Yeah, we're gonna go hang out out there and
Cool.
spend some time with the parents' family. So
Is the Grims coming this time?
No.
Okay.
No.
They've been out
the
there
Grims.
before.
I think are in Texas.
They're in Texas now.
Yeah.
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 They just dropped a motorhome off Florida.
Cool.
Yeah, he was in Vegas the same time I was there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
been doing a lot of traveling too.
Tons.
Yeah,
Yeah. Good for him.
it's good for the soul, man.
Yeah. Get it out
Feels
there.
great.
I know. Feels
He's coming to
great.
Florida too.
Are we ringing? All right.
Yeah, it's my wife.
We'll
Where
call it.
are you guys?
Yeah,
That's what
we're
she's
going
doing.
skiing. All right, thanks for coming, you
420, baby.
guys. Let's
Thanks for
fi-
having us.
Fingers crossed. They actually recorded. We have the redundancy. We have the recording and the recording. So we'll
It
get
looks good.
Yeah, we'll get these put out. And yeah, I appreciate you guys coming by. You guys do such great work, and I love what you're doing. So keep it up.
Right
We
on, yeah,
appreciate
man.
it.
And don't drink and drive. And if you do, give us a call. We'll come tow you and your car, take it to your house, and drop it off. Man, we got to keep the streets safe. So
You hear that, people? Do not drink and drive.
We'll even park it crooked in the driveway, so it's like you did.
We got solutions.
Yes,
Yes,
there are solutions, man.
we got solutions for you. And
yes,
if
save
you
a
don't,
life.
yeah, if you do drink and drive, you're probably going to end up at Vulcan. Your
Anyway.
car will
Anyway.
anyway. So
And not liking us.
that's the message we're going to leave on. Thanks again, guys. Appreciate
you.
it.